Shut it back. Words of a faint, something like a bat. Well, I want your love, call me when you can. Girl, going up, going up.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video, but today we're going to be going over a Timeless Cup tournament that I did near the beginning of the month. Now this is before the update that came in that changed the way CMP works, all of the moves that got updated, like Icy Wind on Dugong, as well as before the legacy moves came back to a lot of Mon. And the last thing that also changed in that update was that the swapping out removes the buffs and debuffs of a Pokemon. So yeah, this tournament is before that, so there's a little bit of a difference in the way that this may look compared to what people are using nowadays. Like for instance, Lapras is on my team. Like you can see my team here in the bottom left corner. What I used at this tournament was Lapras, Celio, Meganium, Whiscash, Sunny Cast Form, and Dragonair. So I think if I was to come in with a team right now, I probably would swap out that Lapras for Kingdra, because Octazooka is a new move that came into the game that is really good. So just before we get into the video here, the reason I haven't uploaded in a while is, I mean, there are a ton of reasons, but some of them are I got the flu, so I was been ill for like a week and a half or 2 weeks, and then I was practicing for the LA tournament for a long time, so I really didn't want to put out a video before that. And also I started a Twitch channel, and I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video, but I think what I'm going to do is stream my practice battles on Twitch, and then try to upload those to YouTube somehow. I don't know exactly how that works at this point, but yeah, I think we're going to try to do that, and then we'll throw the overlay onto tournament videos so that you still get that nice crisp overlay that hopefully y'all love. So yeah, let's get into the tournament. Alright, so this is round 1, game 1 against 6 Sheets. His team is Venomoth, Dragonair, Kingdra, Lapras, Ludicolo, and Swampert. And he's starting off with the Ludicolo. We have Meganium in here, so we're going to want to go Frenzy Plant in this matchup, since it's going to be neutral damage and actually going to be doing quite a lot. And we resist the Razor Leafs, so we know we're in a good matchup here. And when he switches into Venomoth, I don't know what to switch into, so I just switch into Dragonair, which I'm using as my safe swap here. And we get actually both shields, so we have a 2-shield advantage. And I decided to shield this because I think that I can get to this Aqua Tail before he can get to another Silver Wind, which we do, and this is probably going to take out the Venomoth. So we have this shield advantage still, like I said, and we have the switch advantage. I'm probably coming in with Lapras here. If he swaps, we're going to swap as well, just to keep on pace with having the good matchups. And he does swap, and we swap into Meganium. And I think actually here, I have a lack of experience at this point, and I think I actually go for the Earthquake, which is going to be resisted by Ludicolo. So this is a really bad move on my part. But, you know, these things only happen once in the tournament before you, or once, I guess, in your PvP practice, before you really know not to do that again. So this is the first time I think that I had faced a Ludicolo, and actually I think it came up on 3 different teams. So I definitely remember that from this game for the future games coming up here. So we decide to start Cast Form. He starts Kingdra. This is a really bad matchup for us. Like I said before, this is before the patch or the update and everything, so Kingdra does not have Octazooka at this point. He comes in with Lapras when we swap out into Dragonair, so it's a good matchup for him. And I think we're just going to let our Dragonair go here, and probably bring in our Cast Form just to farm up here. It is probably going to take shield from us because we're going to have to shield the Surf, but we're going to have such a good energy advantage here coming into the Kingdra matchup. I think we may even go for, oh, it looks like he lagged a little bit. May even go for a Solar Beam here. Hope he doesn't shield and go for the KO. He does shield though, so then we swap out immediately after that. And at this point, this is probably an Outrage. Oh, Hydro Pump. So it was going to be a big move, right? Because like I said, this is pre-Octazooka. Excuse me. This outrage takes out our Lapras. Man, that Kingdra really farmed down a lot of energy there. So we end up losing the second game. A good swap by him, but either way we were losing to this double dragon. So it looks like he went ice double dragon. So I think I may have gone Meganium double ice. Yeah, looks like we did. I'm surprised because it's just been so long since this tournament happened. So we're 1-1 here in round 1, and we're coming in with Meganium with Celio and Lapras in the back. And he ends up starting Ludicolo again. So really good matchup for us, and we know to just go straight Frenzy Plant at this point. So we won't be wasting too much energy on Earthquakes. And if one Frenzy Plant lands, you can actually farm down the Ludicolo. And he comes in with Swampert, but we... yeah, this is the danger of swapping blindly. I just figured he was coming in with a counter to Meganium. And when he brought in the Swampert, I was just so sad. We're not going to do any shields here on Lapras. And I think we're going to just let Meganium come back in, right? Because we know we did a mistake there. And we're not going to try to save the Lapras or anything like that. We're going to bite the bullet and just let Lapras come down, and then Meganium's going to take out the Swampert. And then we take the last shield there from Dragonair, and we have Celio with 2 shields against Dragonair. Even in an even shield matchup, Celio wins this, so really good position for us. And we're just going to shield everything, even though these probably are all Aqua Tails and not Dragon Pulses, because we have the shields, why not, right? And we're going to take out this Dragonair, and we're going to take round 1 here in this tournament. This tournament is a 4-round tournament. So here we are in round 2 against Superb Kevin. One of our friends, we see him almost every Texas event. This guy really travels around, which is awesome. And we come into the Castform versus Ludicolo matchup, and like I said, I hadn't really faced Ludicolo too much, so I didn't know whether this matchup was good for us. But I think since we resist the Razor Leafs, Castform's really good in that matchup. Plus, I don't think Ludicolo actually has any water moves. I know it has Ice Beam, and I think it has a Solar Beam. Maybe it has Hydro Pump or Solar Beam. So we he swaps out into Swampert, and I make a decision to swap into Lapras, just because even though Dragonair's resisting those Hydro Cannons, Dragonair has such low HP that they're actually still doing a lot, and 2 of them is going to really take out our Dragonair there. So we bring in Lapras, who gets taken out also, and at this point I think we bring in the Castform just to farm down the bad matchup and have him be here for the good matchups, right? We both used 1 shield so far, and he has Venomoth here in the back, which means that our Castform is going to be pretty good against both of these Mon. And we take out the last shield, and we throw out this Weather Ball. And I think I'm actually going to swap out to the Dragonair to eat a move. Yeah, because I know I want that Castform for the Ludicolo matchup, but also Dragonair is pretty good against Ludicolo, especially with the shield, where he can shield any Ice Beam that he throws out, and we're resisting the Razor Leafs as well. But we end up getting to the Aqua Tail before he gets to an Ice Beam there. Razor Leaf just charges up so slow, energy-wise, for your charge attacks, and that's one of the big reasons why I really don't like Razor Leaf users. Which is why I'm using a Grass starter instead of Victory Bell and Charizard for my starter. Okay, so he starts Celio. This is a pretty 50-50 matchup. It's a CMP tie. So basically, if I just get off, it's whoever gets off the actual attack, right? If he goes for an Aura Beam or not in the 2 shield. So we end up swapping to our Celio here after we throw out the second Frenzy Plant, just because we're going to gain an energy advantage on whatever's coming in here. But it is a Razor Leaf user, so we are going to get taken out here, but we took the Celio's energy for the Meganium when he comes back in. So this is looking pretty nice for us. We have the shield advantage. We've done pretty decent damage to this Ludicolo. We're definitely coming in with Meganium. We're going to probably farm down and shield the Ice Beam here. We have to shield, come on. Yeah, okay, we shield the Ice Beam, and I think we're just going to go for a farm down. Oh, this is not a good move. So it looks like I probably got scared of a second Ice Beam, which I don't even think is possible, so I don't know what that was about. I think that Surfs are good against Swampert. I'm surprised I'm not going for the Surfs. Like I said, this tournament was a long time ago. Probably before I really understood a lot of the matchups. But we get the Skull Bash off here, which is going to take out the Swampert. And we're going to have that defense buff against this Celio. And these Body Slams are going to be very reduced in damage, but these Surfs are not going to do too much damage as well. I think I'm going to swap out into Meganium and try to take out this Celio with the fast attacks. But I think we swapped in at a really bad time here. If we had swapped in when he didn't have a charge move, we definitely would have won that game. But instead, the Celio is going to end up taking out our Lapras and Meganium there, and we're going to be tied in round 2 as well. So we come into another game 3 here in round 2. And we're starting off with Castform again. I actually really liked this team, so we come in with a similar team to game 1. And a super bad matchup here in the first slot. And he comes in with Kingdra here, and like I said, without the Octazooka, he's never going to get to another charge move. We're actually probably going to make it to 2 charge moves before he makes it to 1. So if he wants to get a charge move off, he's going to have to shield. But if he shields, we'll shield for sure, and then fast attack it down. So he comes in with Celio. Like I said, this is a pretty even matchup, but we do have the energy advantage, so we are going to win this matchup as well. And he has the Swampert in the back. I'm surprised I take that. I guess I want to come in with Castform while I still have a good matchup. But he catches us with the Hydro Cannon here. Really good moves by him, really good swapping. We wanted to swap into Celio right away, but we were just a little too slow on that. And I'm going to go probably for 2 fast attacks here and then throw the Body Slam. And if this doesn't take out the Swampert, I'm pretty sure we're really close to another Body Slam here. And he ends up shielding. So now we're even on shields, no shields for either of us. But I think we're going to take out... This is probably a Hydro Cannon. It could be an Earthquake, but yeah, Hydro Cannon. So we're in a super good position here because we're coming into the Celio Mirror with... we're much lower on health, but I think we have a ton of energy here to go for 2 Body Slams. He also had a lot of energy. He obviously used a Body Slam against us there. But yeah, we have a ton of energy. So we're going to end up taking him out with these Powder Snows, I'm pretty sure. Oh no! Looks like he takes us out. But we have Castform in the back, and the fast attacks are going to end up taking out this Celio. No move here could actually take us out. He doesn't have like Hydro Cannon or some big water move. I think it actually does have Water Pulse. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, we had just way too much health. So we win round 2, and we come into round 3 here. Another Venomoth team. Starting with Lapras, we started with Meganium. Really basic comp by us here. We have Meganium, a Dragon, and an Ice User. And so we force the swap into Venusaur. Venusaur actually beats Meganium in the one-on-one, so we swap into Dragonair. Since it resists those Frenzy Plants, the only thing we have to look out for is the Sludge Bomb. It's not going to KO us, but it really is going to do a lot of damage, probably about 50-55%. And then he comes in with the Lapras here, and I'm hoping that he thinks this is a Dragon Pulse, so that we can take a shield, but he does not, so he plays that really well. We're probably coming in with Meganium here. We do have a Frenzy Plant already available. Let's see if he shields. I didn't think he would. And he comes in with the Venomoth. We really need to get out of there. Venomoth really good against Meganium. Because the Silver Wind and the Poison Fang are going to be super effective against Meganium, as well as those Confusions doing a ton of damage. Those Confusions won't do as much as they would to like Venusaur because of the Poison typing of Venusaur, and Meganium is actually Grass and Ground, but still doing a ton of damage, and like I said, the charge move is going to be super effective. So we're just trying to take this Venomoth out with this Lapras, and then we want to swap as soon as possible, but we do not make it to this charge move, and I think that this is a Skull Bash, which is going to take out our Lapras. So really unfortunate times for our switches here. We really should have tried to eat the charge attack on our Lapras, but our Lapras was so low I didn't think that it would work. And we come in with one of our strats that we really liked, Dragon and double Ice. So this actually worked out super in our favor. We have the Venusaur lead with our 2 waters in the back, so I do think both of those ice actually do beat Venusaur just in general, but obviously Dragonair is really good against Venusaur since it resists the fast attacks and the charge attacks, except for the Sludge Bomb, like I said before. And once he swaps into Lapras, we swap into Celio. This is a good matchup for us. We just have to pretty much throw our Body Slams on cooldown because he's going to be going for the Skull Bashes, and we want to get in as much damage as we can before the defense is raised on the Lapras side. So I think we get to our 4th Body Slam here, and he does end up using both of his shields, and then he swaps out into Venusaur, and I swap right back into Dragonair. We do throw that shield out right there because we did think it was a Sludge Bomb, which it was, and then we farm it almost all the way down, and then we throw the Aqua Tail, which will finish it off, which leaves us with a ton of energy still on this Dragonair, but I think this is probably a Skull Bash. Yeah, so we end up losing out on all of that energy on Dragonair, but it's okay. I think we're going to come in with our Celio here, yeah, and this has got to be a Surf because he just used Skull Bash. Now this Lapras, I believe, already has the +4 defense buff, so it is super tanky at this point. We're going to need to throw 2 Body Slams, but we also need to do still more fast attacks because it's still around. And I tried to swap into our Lapras to get an energy advantage here. Oh, and this guy was running Politoed. And in our previous video, we looked at Politoed, and we knew that if it was Legacy, it did have Earthquake. So we definitely had that in mind here, because I don't think anyone's just bringing Politoed for no reason. I think that if they bring Politoed, they're definitely going to have that Earthquake to try to surprise people. But Lapras can take 1 Earthquake and survive, and all we needed to do here was throw out the Surf to take out the Politoed, and then we're good. So we win game 2, and then we come into another 3rd game. These games are super close, and this is a Lapras Mirror. And actually remember this match, it's a little unfair. So this is before the CMP changes, where it's whoever has the most attack gets CMP. It's still random, and it's supposed to swap back and forth, but just take a look at this. I get the first Skull Bash off here, and then I won CMP on the first one, and I won CMP here on the second one. That really shouldn't happen. It should have swapped over, and the winner of the Lapras matchup is pretty much whoever gets the first Skull Bash off, because you're going to be you're going to be taking much less damage against the subsequent Skull Bash because you already have the defense buff. And look again, I win CMP for a 3rd time here. I mean, nothing I can really do. It's just the game mechanics, but super unfair at this point. I do like the changes that they've done with the CMP. Whoever has the most attack pretty much has the speed buff, and at least it makes sure that CMP isn't random anymore, which is all that I can hope for. So our Lapras maybe actually survives this because of the buffs, and we're going for a second Surf here, which should take out the Castform. Usually Castform does a little better in that matchup, but since we already had the defense buffs, we were going to be super ahead at that point. And I'm probably going to bring in Dragonair here, just because if he swaps into Lapras, I want to be able to swap into our Castform, because Dragonair has a much worse matchup against this Lapras. So our Castform may have the same fate as his Castform, where this Weather Ball may not be able to take out this Lapras. But it is okay. Oh, it actually ends up taking it out. So we're good here because the Weather Ball is also going to take out the Venusaur. So his Lapras a little lower than ours because of that defense buff that we had gotten over time against, because we had won CMP on the Skull Bashes. So this is round 4 here. We're 3-0 at this point. We're taking on Pogo Amigo Texas, another Venomoth Ludicolo team. Interesting. So he starts with the Whiscash. We start with Meganium. Obviously, this is a really strong matchup for us. I definitely should have came in with Whiscash against his Dragonair. This is another lack of experience play here for me. I ended up going for Dragonair, thinking that, you know, if I shield I'll be able to take him out, but he has such a huge energy advantage. But we somehow get to our Aqua Tail at like 0 HP. Look at our HP bar. I can't even see any HP on there at all. I don't know how that goes off, and it really gave us a huge advantage in this matchup. And I think no matter what he swaps into, I'm going to try to fast swap into Whiscash here, just so that I can retain the Meganium Whiscash matchup. But in doing that, we get absolutely destroyed by him having the Ludicolo in the back, which is Razor Leaf User, and it's going to be double super effective against our Whiscash and absolutely throttle it. We do have a shield advantage, so I think I'm going to farm down and QSA. Actually, I may farm even more because I want to go into a Frenzy Plant here on Ludicolo and have a Frenzy Plant available for the Whiscash, just in case he's trying to get to that Blizzard. We want to go back-to-back Frenzy Plants, which we do right here. So, really good idea going into those going into that end game there by me, and it ended up actually working out. So that is amazing. And he said he was on the Blizzard or really close to it when we talked about it after the game. So Meganium versus Dragonair, it's not the worst matchup, but since I have double ice in the back, I'm willing to sacrifice one of them for to get the swap advantage on the Dragonair later, or to build up a ton of energy on the Meganium, because all Meganium needs to win the Dragonair matchup is to throw one is to land one Earthquake. And I get super scared here. I could have probably gone for the farm down, but actually we end up taking a shield, and we definitely have to shield this because it's going to be an Ice Beam. And we're going to farm down here completely, have a ton of energy coming into what I think is going to be the Dragonair matchup. It looks like I'm going for the swap straight into Lapras though, so we'll see what he has in the back. I don't think we're super threatened by anything here in the back, maybe Charizard. But even that's going to be fine because now we have such a huge energy advantage. But since he's kept whatever it is in the back, I assume it's also not good against Lapras, so maybe it's Venomoth. Unless he was just trying to get to this Dragon Pulse. It's actually Celio in the back, so maybe he should have swapped. It would have left him in a much better position. It would have left his Dragonair on my Meganium and the Celio beating out the Lapras. And we get to this Frenzy Plant, which is going to do about 70% damage to him, which actually ends up taking him out. So I think that game was really well played by me. We're up 2-0. That 2-1 graphic is wrong. We're up 2-0, and this is game 3 here. I don't know what that blip was. And he starts with Whiscash, really good against Dark Cast Form, so we need to swap out instantly. And we swap into Celio. This is not the greatest matchup, especially with Whiscash having an energy advantage, but he comes in with Charizard. This also isn't the best matchup for us. We're just going to be going for these Body Slams since they're neutral. It is possible we could go for Aura Beam, but I don't want to risk anything, and I really don't think that I'm going to... Oh, I actually didn't think I would use shields here. Okay. Probably wouldn't have used shields coming into... I definitely think I would have brought in Dragonair. We actually end up getting both shields there. And this Body Slam is going to be very close to KOing if it doesn't. And it does. So that's second shield there on the Charizard's behalf was not very good because we were able to take out the Charizard with it having a lot of energy, probably enough for a Dragon Claw there at the end. So we end up really taking all that energy out of the matchup, which is a really good gain for us. And I think we might shield here. No, I guess we thought in the moment he wouldn't throw the Blizzard, but he's definitely got to be close to Blizzard, right? Is this a Blizzard? Oh, and we call the shields right on the Blizzard. That's really a 50-50, whether or not the person is the type of person who likes to bait the shields, or the type of person who's just going to go for it. And I guess we called it right, and we ended up not shielding the Mud Bomb, and then shielding the Blizzard, which is obviously just a really big turning point in this matchup. And Cast Form versus Celio is a pretty even matchup. What we're trying to do here is just trying to get to 2 Weather Balls and go for the back-to-back, the self-piggyback here, to try to stop one auto attack, but we definitely miscalculate. And I think it's because we're getting put under extreme pressure from these Body Slams. He did have an energy advantage coming in, so we're really scared of getting taken out here, but I think that this actually does take out the Celio. And it does. So yeah, we ended up going 4-0 with this tournament. We were really trying to use this tournament. We had been practicing this team for a while, and we wanted to go to a tournament to really get, that tournament practice in with the team, because we were going to go to LA the week after this, and I really wanted to get a tournament under my belt with this team so that I can bring the team to the LA tournament and do well with it, or at least have all that practice in the background. And if I didn't do well, at least I really tried a lot. But what ended up happening is actually in the LA tournament, we brought a different team. We swapped out 3 of our Pokemon because of the changes that happened in the update. I think the changes hit the day before the tournament, that Friday night. Oh, actually, I think it was the Saturday night, yeah, because the tournament was on Sunday. And, I think I really would have loved to have brought this team. I had the most practice with it. It would have done well. And really what I learned here is don't change your team at the last minute. We did change a few days before and really got a ton of practice under our belt, probably about 50 games with that team. But, I really liked this team that we had here. Whether or not it's still good, I think that you could swap out the Lapras because the Skull Bash isn't going to follow through on the matchups after the swap outs, since the buffs go away now when you swap out. But I would probably swap that Lapras in for a Kingdra, and this team's still pretty good. Now, if you don't like Cast Form, you could have your starter be Charizard and bring in either Shiftry or Tangrowth. I think those would be good grass types to bring in if your starter is going to be Charizard. But yeah, thanks for watching. I know it's been a while since I did my last video, but hopefully we'll get back into it really soon. And we started a Twitch channel, and I'm going to be doing a lot of practice battles on there. And what I think I'm going to do is upload those practice battles to YouTube, since I know a lot of people aren't watching me on both. So I still want people to see the practice games that we're doing on YouTube here. So we'll try to figure out how I can port those videos over to YouTube as well. They won't have the overlay, but hopefully the commentary on there will be good enough that you'll still get a lot out of it. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. I know it's been a while. Like I said, it's been a while since I did my last video, but we're about to get back into it. So thanks again. Bye.